Excuse me. I was wondering if there was any way I could take your photograph.
You may have heard of Humans of New York, the firestorm photography project that began in the infancy of social media and since has featured thousands of photos and stories of everyday people.
I'm an artist and photographer. I run a website called Humans of New York. It's also 5 books.
But even if you're familiar with the work, it is likely that you aren't as familiar with the man behind it, Brandon Stanton.
Tell us what Humans of New York has accomplished since the beginning to now.
Well, there's several metrics to measure it. I think by far the most valuable point, I think and I hope, it's these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds over the course of 15 years, millions of little moments between somebody on one side of a computer screen and some stranger on the streets of New York City that gave them some sort of comfort. Excuse me. I was wondering if there's any way I could take your photograph.
To this day, Brandon walks around the streets of New York City looking to interview and photograph total strangers. And despite being at this for 15 years now, he still gets rejected.
I'm actually good.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's no problem. Don't apologize. No is the most common answer I hear.
But when he does get a yes,
Yeah. Okay.
he goes deep.
What is your biggest challenge in life right now?
My biggest challenge right now is to stay in the moment.
Brandon will often spend an hour or two with someone, making them comfortable enough to tell their story.
I had a situation in the last year with my son. It definitely challenged me as far as having a faith that everything's going to be okay.
What we learned about Brandon after spending a couple of hours with him
Oh, excuse me.
is the man who is able to compel people to share their most vulnerable life moments often struggles to do the same.
You did say, it is interesting that I constantly am
Yeah,
exposing other people's lives. When
Well, and expose is a strong word.
Okay, expose. What would
yeah.
you say? How do you say it? Where do you find the irony?
Yeah. Well, it's that I'm constantly pressing for greater and greater amounts of specificity. Whereas with my private life, but again, I think a lot of it comes.
Well, finish it. Finish it with my private life. What?
Well, with my private life, there is a boundary across which we do not go.
But on this day, we did go there. And as it turns out, the man behind the lens may be as complicated as the humans he speaks to.
When I was 19 years old, I was a real screw up. I flunked out of college. I was a drug addict, very much so. And I kind of hit rock bottom, and the only people who would take me in were my grandparents, who I barely knew. It was on my biological father's side of the family.
This is in Georgia.
Yeah. And so I was living in their basement. I was working as a host at Applebee's, watching all my other friends go to college, and just feeling very much like a failure.
What kind of drug were you addicted to?
Adderall was my bad one.
When did you start?
High school. Everybody had a prescription.
Who got you hooked on it?
Oh, I got myself hooked on it. But, there's a lot of drug addiction in my family.
Eventually, Brandon got clean and went back to school in Georgia, where he grew up. And with that came an opportunity to work in finance in Chicago.
To me, bond trader was the opposite of screw up. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was such...
Sure.
Yeah. And so when I got that job, I clung onto that job and that title and that identity. And when it started going bad, my mental health really started going down because I needed that to cover up so much shame about who I was. Yes?
Gotcha.
And so when I finally got fired, I had this moment where I was like, okay, all of this thought energy that I had trying to be somebody is now dissipated. And I can ask myself, what do I want to do? And at that time, I've been photographing for about 2 months. I got the camera as kind of a life preserver to try to, keep myself above water because work was going so bad.
At 26 years old, Brandon moved to New York with the ambitious goal to take 10,000 photos of the humans who live here.
In the early years of Humans of New York, maybe I wasn't moving towards something like I thought I was. Maybe I was running from something. And the times where I would just want to lay in bed and just stay in bed, What was it that got me off the mattress? Was it this desire to connect millions of people? Or was it the fear that I was a screw up?
After 3 years of scraping by, one of Brandon's photos went viral on Facebook, and the rocket ship that would become Humans of New York took off.
I was just trying to hang on. And then this wave came up underneath me. I'd only been photographing for 6 months. A year later, millions of people were following it.
With millions of followers also came millions of dollars.
We have managed to, raise 20 million for various causes, and but I think by far the most valuable point of I don't think my contribution and impact in the world will ever be measured by money.
But money is part of Humans' legacy, because it's that money that's transforming lives.
I have this regular, and he walked in and she got up and she stood her heels on the rung of the bar stool and she was like, "You saved her, you saved her." And then she goes, "And you saved all of us as well." And she was just
We did our interview with Brandon at Mary O's Pub in the East Village of Manhattan, a business he helped to save during the pandemic after featuring the owner, Mary, on Humans of New York. The mother of 6 was known locally for making delicious scones, and Brandon suggested they start a fundraiser to sell them. $1 million worth of orders later, Mary O's Pub was saved, and she went on to open a now successful scone shop.
so important for him, like what he did.
Mary's story is not unique.
Humans of New York gave me a megaphone that went internationally. He raised almost $1 million for us in 6 days.
Everybody knows us. I think he just kind of exploded it. People say it all the time. I saw you on Humans of New York. I read your story. That's it. That's it. What more can you say?
I don't know at what point Brandon decided to do a fundraiser for me. I was working paycheck to paycheck, eking out pennies. And so it enabled me to pay cash for this house.
Now, around 10,000 interviews and photos later,
Can I feel it?
Yeah, and it looks exactly like
I
fabric.
love the look of it.
Brandon has come out with his 5th book, Dear New York, and all proceeds are being donated.
So my first book sold almost 1 million copies. I'd only been photographing for 2.5 years. And I really wanted to go back in time and make a book about New York City now that I really, really know what I'm doing, so that it could be polished in everything that I want to say about the city.
So this book, very simply put, is about what?
It's my love letter to New York, I guess, through the stories of its people.
You feel like the vessel?
I'm trying to be.
Here's my 2 cents. Without Brandon's struggles, there probably would have never been a Humans of New York. Pain can be our greatest teacher and our best purpose driver.
How would I describe Brandon? I look at Brandon, the Humans of New York guy, and then I look at Brandon Stanton, the human being. Give me a minute.
Brandon allowed me to see myself in a way that I had never been able to glimpse.
Whatever he's getting out of this, I wish him 10 times more, because he's a good man trying to do good things, and that's rare.
I think I heard of you.
Yeah. For me, a big thing is, what does God want me to do? And my answer to that is use my work to somehow provide comfort, to somehow improve the lives of other people, to create moments of connection, as opposed to how far am I? How much further can I go?
The words that are coming into my mind right now as I listen to this are thank you, pain. Thank you, pain.
Yeah, and because I say, if you can find somebody's struggle, you can find their genius, because you find the thing that they've pushed up against, they've thought about, that has kept them awake the most at night. When you find that spot in somebody, you normally find the thing that they can tell the world that's different than everybody else.
So well said. I've said it before and I'll say it again.
We humans connect when we share stories with each other about struggle, not success, but struggle. And this project, Humans of New York, proves that out.
And it also proves it's not hard to be nice to people, David. Look at all the good things that have happened based on the work that Brandon has done. I love what the man said, a good man trying to do good things.
And that's rare, but it shouldn't be rare.
You're right,
and I actually
Tony.
think books like this
rare.
point to the direction of it not being rare.
And speaking of books, the beginning of your life is just a chapter. You can keep writing.
Yeah.
You can create new chapters. He said he was down and out, addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
And look where he is now and what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
You know, it's really similar actually to the Dan Hurley book we were talking about earlier. Coach Hurley, down and out at one point in his life, now at the very top of the basketball world. You've got Brandon Stanton, down and out, now at the very top of arts and photography.
This was really good, David.
It's a beautiful thing. David, thank you for connecting us once again.
Thanks, guys, and congratulations on the new digs.
Yeah, we like the new digs.
Thanks, David.
We like them.
All right, Brandon Stanton's book, Dear New York, will be out on October 7th and features nearly 500 colorful pages of photos and stories.